General Smuts in his element, the front line. He is accompanied by Lieutenant General Sir Pierre van Reineveld, Chief of the General Staff, and Lieutenant General A.G. Cunningham in the dark forage cap, Commander-in-Chief in East Africa. It's not long before the Obos is meeting Springboks who are really on the job. Bronzed and fit, he is as fresh and eager as the youngest subaltern. Always an energetic man, this trip seems to give him more vitality than ever. "25 years ago, General Smuts was leading the fathers of these men in a similar campaign. Today he leads another generation, and in his own words, they are worthy of the rock whence they were hewn. One couldn't meet these men without being proud of them, he says. I doubt whether anywhere in the world a finer physical type can be found. In height and breadth they are so striking that a British general calls them tanks among men." There follows an inspection of a motorcycle unit, an important branch of our modern army on wheels. And the Prime Minister then witnesses a demonstration of trench mortars in action. This is speed for you. And 12 months ago, these were the rookies who thought mortar was something you did bricklaying with. A soldier speaks to soldiers. Umyoni is proud of what the boys are doing, and he tells them so. When he ends his speech by saying, "The Union with all its resources is behind you, and I have no doubts about the future," the air resounds to salvos of cheers. This is a momentous day for the men. A visit to the camp hospital shows the army generously equipped with medical facilities, and General Smuts meets some of the women who are proving they can stand up to the test as well as the men. Not only as nurses are they pulling their weight. The Mosses, as the South African women have been nicknamed, are doing good work with their transport driving under war conditions, and our Commander-in-Chief had a word of encouragement for them too, for they are keeping alive the tradition of the Voortrekker women who fought beside their men in the lagers. Proceeding on his long journey, the Premier heads even further north, up to Khartom for his meeting with Mr. Anthony Eden, and up to the Springbok forces right at the front. Having landed at an advanced Air Force station, General Smuts meets some of the men who patrol the skies. True lords of the air, they are worthy members of democracy's great cavalry of the clouds. Wherever he goes, the Prime Minister has a word for everyone. He speaks to hundreds of men in the course of a day, and we catch a glimpse of him chatting with his own son, Second Lieutenant Jan Smuts of the Engineering Corps. Everywhere he receives a tremendous welcome. Sun helmets wave in the air, and strong voices are raised in thunderous cheers. These are great days for the men, and they're great days for their leader. Duty calls, however, on the home front, and South Africa's soldier premier sets off again for the Union, his plane soaring once more over the mighty scenic grandeur of this continent. Strong, rugged country, a worthy setting for our young fighters. Many well-known figures are at the flying field to meet the General at the end of his 8,000-mile trip. And from his smiling face, one would never think he'd completed such a strenuous week of continuous traveling, in which his longest period of rest was 4 hours. He's welcomed by prominent military officers and by Mrs. Smuts and his little granddaughters. What General Smuts and the Chief of General Staff saw of our boys up north must have pleased them. The Obos is home, and we're pleased he's back. But his trip is something the men up north will never forget.